Hello everyone, welcome back to another exciting episode on 𝗏𝗏𝗡𝗚 TV, your one-stop channel for real, raw, and authentic discussion. As always, I'm your host, 𝗏𝗏𝗡𝗚 Ashade, but I'm not alone in the studio today. I'm joined by a seasoned real estate expert with an extensive knowledge of the market. Yes, you heard me right. Today we are diving into real estate and we'll be discussing seasonal selling tips and how to navigate the dynamic real estate market. So, this is going to be a very educative and enlightening episode today. Stay tuned. Have you been looking for where the spotlight and cameras are set for the role? Come with me.
Here at 𝗏𝗏𝗡𝗚 Multimedia, keep your journey memories feeling from the studio down to your event venue.
I'm sure you don't want to miss out on our Ember promo that is running currently till November. Let me key you in now so that you can benefit from our 40% discount on all our services. Our services include video shoots, sound rentals, DJ services, event management and coverage, content creation, and photo shoots. Think quality, think TML, your partner in capturing life jolly memories. So I mentioned earlier that I'm joined by a well-seasoned real estate expert. So let's meet our guest for today, Mr. 𝗏𝗬𝗡𝗚𝗜𝗏𝗏𝗡𝗚 is the branch manager of Top Profile Real Estate, 𝗏𝗘𝗔𝗩𝗏 branch. Welcome to the podcast, sir.
Thank you, Shewa.
Please, we'd like to know, how long have you been in the real estate business?
Okay, this is like 3 years down the line. I've been doing real estate sales. I started as marketer and all that, and God has helped us, and we are progressing in the career. So it's 3 years down the line.
Okay, so how has the journey been so far?
The truth is, the journey has really been encouraging and inspiring.
Okay.
But I would say it was not just easy like that, because there are a lot of challenges as far as sales in real estate is concerned. It has been from learning upon learning, then progress is being made. But so far, I can say that it is worth doing because of where we are today and where we believe that we'll be by tomorrow.
Okay.
It has been an amazing time doing real estate.
That's so good to hear. Speaking about challenges, that's exactly what we are talking about today. We have different seasons, across the world, but today we are talking about Nigeria, of course. We have the dry season, we have the rainy season. So now I want to talk about how these seasons affect the real estate market. Each business has its own challenges and all. So we know that in rainy seasons at times, the prices of real estate, of lands, it's quite, how will I put it now? It's quite low compared to when it's actually dry season.
Okay.
Am I correct? Am I right in saying that?
What you say is there is more increase in the amount of people buying in dry season than the rainy season. It does not mean that the prices are low.
Okay. Why is that?
All right. The thing is, let me say there are seasons that real estate investment booms. We look at the sector in a way that people tend to invest towards the end of the year and at the early stage of the year. For instance, October down to December, we see it as a peak in real estate when the rain is going down. Then January down to around April, May, you also see another peak in investment. Maybe it's because some persons will want to make investment at the end of the year so that they will hold it on to that we have had this land acquired before the end of the year. Then other persons will want to make the investment at the beginning of the year so that when it gets to the middle of the year, they already realize that they have investment, to reckon on. Do you understand? So within the end of the year, which is when we start dry season in Nigeria, and beginning of the year from January, we have seen tremendous increase in real estate investment. So those are the two seasons I would call the peak of the real estate investment.
So what you're saying is it's more on of the dry season. That's when we get to see more investments.
Yes, I can say that because of what we have seen out of experience. Now, one of the reasons also why we see that investment coming at the end of the year is we have some of our citizens abroad that I don't know how it happens, but they feel to invest towards the end of the year. So you see more of them coming down to buy properties by maybe November, December, and thereabout. Some of them will come back from maybe America, US, or London. Right now, when they come by December, before they will go, after January, they want to buy properties before leaving. So those periods, we have a lot of busy schedules in terms of real estate investment in the country.
You mentioned the peak season for both sellers and buyers. Now, to me, I feel like the peak season is when the buyers, to them, things are more expensive. Houses, lands are more expensive. And then for the sellers, that's when they can gain more. That's when they can make more money. That's what I term as the peak season. So how can both the buyers and the sellers, how can they like come to an agreement when it comes to negotiating prices, the challenges of pricing? Now, how can they balance it?
Okay, there's something I want to get. Just like you said, there are no season when the real estate is cheap. For instance, the land will not reduce its price from 1 million to 500,000 unless there's a distress need to sell such property. If not, the land will always increase from 1 million to 1.5 or 1.2.
The average Nigerian will not see it that way.
Now, the truth is, the real estate prices are, for me, is not static. There are rooms for negotiations whenever someone wants to buy, right? But as a new buyer or a first-time investor, you would want to ask for maybe discount, for instance. Now, those of us that are into this sales game, we understand that investors always have the right to ask for discount. So we always find a way to, give them the discount so that we can encourage them to buy the next time. So if I have a new buyer from today and the person has not invested in real estate, other than me losing that buyer, I would prefer to give the person a discount, even if it is what I'm supposed to earn as the seller, because every seller has a commission. In a dry season, there is peak, there is more demand for property, and a seller will tend to make more money by the volume of sale he makes or she makes, right? Now, in the rainy season, there is lesser demand of property. Now, the seller will make less money because the person will be struggling to at least even make one sale within that period. Now, that is when the buyer will now have to capitalize on the need or demand for discount. So, during the rainy season, when there is no sales, you will see buyers wanting to ask for more discount than that period when there is demand for sales. So buyers might not really want to ask for discount because they want to invest now. They're in a haste. They just want to do this and go, so they will not have time. But that time it will be like more like you are begging them, not like begging, but the way you message them, they will feel maybe you don't have money, so
they are trying
to get money, even though they know their property is genuine and all right, but they want to now ask for more discount. But imagine when you're not even looking at them, at that period. Of course, they will go with your own terms. So that is just how to balance it. The buyers will want to ask for more discount at that period when they feel there is no boom in the market. Then the sellers will want to make more money at the period when we feel that it is a peak, like the ending of the year, October to December or January to March.
But that does not mean they are inflating their prices.
No, they are not.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So I just want to get clarity, because for the average Nigerians, we don't see it that way. We feel like during the dry season, houses, the rates of houses, the pricing is maybe 3 times more than the usual price.
No, it's not. The only thing that happens is just the normal. It might just be the normal price, but maybe because the buyer was not intentional about buying at that period when it is maybe raining. You understand? When it comes to the December period, he would think that they have skyrocketed the price. No. In August, the price of property will be selling for 10 million. In December, it might still be selling for maybe 10 million or maybe 10.5.
Okay.
Do you understand? So those differences now, people that are buying in December will feel like, this thing is too much, but they didn't price when it was even the 10 million as at August.
Okay.
So nobody inflates price just like that.
Okay. So I have another question, which is, I would say it's very disturbing, kind of, because during the dry season, I feel like there are some things that the buyers will not be able to like properly access before paying for maybe a land, or let's say a property like a house. Now, I can remember there was a time I was learning hairdressing, and we packed to a new shop, and then it was dry season. But when it was raining season, we found out that whenever it was raining, water would be gushing out from the floor, and it was very expensive. So is it that when sellers are doing, when they are like putting out their prices and all, because she was not informed, when they are putting out their prices, is it that they don't really consider the buyers before putting out price? Because I feel if that kind of property now was to be sold for a lesser price, and they told her that this is what you are going, this is your expectation, this is what you are going to meet, she'll be ready that okay, when the time comes, she'll be able. But this came as a shock to her. We will literally be packing water and putting in a drum when it's time, when it starts raining, and she was very sad.
Okay.
So what do you think is the reason for that? Why do sellers do that?
Okay. You will not say why the sellers do that. Let me just start by saying buyers are supposed to make a lot of researches about what they want to buy.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what influences, I didn't say this before, what influences the price of any property is the location. We call it demography. You understand? The more populated an area is, the more demand for a property in that area. Do you understand? Now, if you are a seller, you have a property, and maybe somebody gives you a property that, please help me market this property. Your own concern will be to go and look at it. And the period that you visit that location determines your information you are going to pass to the buyer. Imagine if the seller went there during dry season. Of course, the seller will not know that there is a problem with maybe flood or damping, whatever, at that area. So the seller might not really know. Now, what I advise people to do is, please, if you want to buy a property, you can do a test, you can check around, you can ask questions about the location that you are buying. For instance, if it's a finished building, please, what is the flood level of this place? Do we normally have flood here? Those questions can just be, asked by anyone. Both the seller can even ask such. The buyer also can ask. Now, as a seller, I will try to make such findings. And when I find it, I will not tell my person I'm talking to, please, there is a challenge that I heard about this particular location, but this is the remedy when you want to park in. So with that, both parties will be on the same page, and there will be no one to say you did not inform me well and all that. So that is how I think it should be.
Okay.
Yes.
So the last question I have, because you were talking about research, that sellers should make research. What are the selling tips that you can give sellers, particularly people that are just getting into the real estate business?
Okay.
Yeah, selling tips for them.
Okay. One of the selling tips should be, to find a strategic location where a property is. Someone that is having a property in Asokoro, for instance, and is selling it maybe at any price, it's definitely going to be different from someone that has in maybe somewhere around where will I even use? Day. Do you get? So sellers should look at the locations where the properties are. And the locations, like I said before, will determine who will come and price such property. So those of us that are into sales, we try to look for a property that will be easier for us to sell. But how will you know which one is easier until you see a buyer? You will not know. Then what I would advise sellers to check out for is, where are your buyers coming from? Who are your buyers? If you are marketing for the high ticket or the ones that has money, you find a way to get across to them. You use some so many tips, like your advert. You find a way to polish your advert. You go to the place, visit the area, inspect the area, and do a very nice shoot of the video of the location. If it is a house, let it be so fine, you understand, and attractive. Then post it and make your ad known. Don't feel intimidated by maybe others. Do things that people are doing, and even do what people are doing more better. Do you understand? So that is one thing I would tell sellers to do. And especially in this period now that we're entering the season, you can visit the location of the property, take a video, then put the advert, put some catching words, the features of the land, for instance. If it's a land, if it is a CO4 property, it will be more interested to buyers than when it is maybe RFO, or not even RFO, let's say it is AMAC papers, as we call in Abuja, right? Now, if it is a building, a finished structure, now how is the outlook? If it is a terrace building or a fully detached duplex, how is the design like? Those are some of the tips you can use. Now, another thing also is, how is the space inside for those of us that sell buildings? For instance, if you are selling a living room for me, maybe 10 square meter, and I have in one location, and I have another person selling the same living room for like 13 or 15 square meter. If you are marketing for me as a seller, I will buy that of the person that has 15 square meter because there is more space. So what you have on ground also determines how you are going to project it and people that will come to ask you for the property.
So you should just endeavor to like always be one step ahead of your other competitors.
Do you understand? So nothing stops a seller from going to that location, for instance, to even check other buildings around. Because if you're marketing building A, there's possibly another building B by the side. Do you understand? Unless I'm talking about maybe freelancers now. Maybe if you're a freelancer, you can understand what I'm saying. Building A might have a smaller space inside, whereas building B have bigger space inside. If you check the two, you can make the options. This one is 15 square meter, this one is 10 square meter. The person of selling 15 square meter will sell that building faster than you that is selling the 10 square meter. So it all depends on the knowledge that the sellers know about whatever property they have. So you need to go and look at it. If you don't know how to do measurement, you can ask a friend, you can call someone, maybe an engineer or an architect, let them tell you what you need to know about that property. Then put it out there. You see buyers will be attracted.
You mentioned measurements.
Yes.
I mean, ordinarily, I wouldn't even think of that I probably need an engineer or a surveyor to work with me. How about people that don't have that in their baby group or something?
The truth is, you cannot be a good seller without having those things at the back of your mind. You must not be an engineer or a surveyor or anything, but you can ask questions. Do you understand? You can even walk into the space and ask, please, what is the size of this space? Do you understand? It is one of the things that the seller can even ask. If you walk into a space, what is the size of this space? Definitely there's somebody that knows about it. Every building has a design. So the person that knows about it will tell you, the bedroom is 10 square meter, the living room is 15 square meter. You just go those basic informations and have it at the back of your palm.
So that means it all still boils down to research.
Yes.
So make your proper research, do your due diligence as a seller if you want to excel in the business. Well, you've heard it from a very, like I said, he's a seasoned real estate expert, and I'm sure you've gained one or two things from him. Thank you so much, sir, for honoring us.
Thank you, Shewa.
Yes, sir, we've learned a lot. Okay, so this is still Top Profile TV. My name is 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, and we've had a very insightful and enlightening discussion with Mr. 𝗏𝗏𝗡𝗚𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, the branch manager of the 𝗏𝗏𝗡𝗏𝗏 branch, Top Profile Real Estate. Please, if you've enjoyed this content, make sure you like, click on the post notification button, make sure you subscribe, help us grow. Without you, we can't grow, of course. So please make sure you comment. Drop your comments in the comment section. Let us know what else you would like to know regarding the real estate business. Thank you very much, and we hope to see you in the next episode. Bye.